You check your phone. Within seconds, you have scrolled past a dozen hyper-optimized videos, scanned 3 headlines, and rejected them all. You are trapped in a modern dopamine loop, but modern Homo sapiens have existed for roughly 300,000 years. Smartphones and digital feeds have existed for less than 0.01% of that timeline. So, how did ancient humans survive without instant stimulation? The short answer is they didn't get bored because boredom is a modern invention. Anthropological data shows prehistoric hunter-gatherers only worked 15 to 20 hours a week to survive. Their remaining waking downtime wasn't filled with dread. Their brains weren't conditioned for instant gratification. For 99% of human history, empty time was viewed as a creative space or a spiritual state. In fact, the word boredom didn't even exist in the English language until 1852, when Charles Dickens used it in Bleak House. Before that milestone, the feeling was classified entirely differently. Ancient Romans called it a physical sickness, while 4th century Christian monks classified it as a sin called acedia. Anthropology tells us that once a prehistoric tribe secured its daily food, the work was done. Imagine living 30,000 years ago with 8 solid hours of uninterrupted silence. Today, taking away a person's phone for 2 hours spikes their stress hormones, causing restless agitation. Our ancestors didn't experience this because their dopamine receptors were uncorrupted. Silence wasn't a void, it was just reality. Instead of causing anxiety, this profound stillness acted as an evolutionary engine. When a human mind is left completely alone with its environment, it naturally begins to play. Our ancestors started manipulating the physical world purely to pass the hours. They took mammoth bones, drilled precise holes, and invented the flute. They spent days grinding rocks into pigments just to paint elaborate animal murals on dark cave walls. Boredom, in its earliest form, was the literal catalyst for human culture, art, and music. As humanity built massive civilizations, our relationship with empty time shifted. By the 1st century AD, Rome had built a society completely dependent on slave labor. Because conquered populations performed almost all manual work, upper-class citizens faced a brand new crisis, a massive surplus of leisure time. With 0 daily responsibilities and no digital distractions, a profound psychological weight emerged. The Roman philosopher Seneca described this as a mental sickness, using terms like tedium vitae, the weariness of life, and horologiae, the dread of just staying in one place. He observed wealthy Romans frantically buying new villas and traveling constantly, trying to outrun their own restless minds. Ordinary citizens fought this emptiness with extreme vandalism. Thanks to the volcanic ash that preserved Pompeii, archaeologists have uncovered thousands of pieces of ancient graffiti. Romans spent their empty afternoons scratching crude jokes, gossip, gladiator reviews, and teenage angst directly into public brickwork. By the 4th century, thousands of deeply spiritual people fled decaying cities into the remote deserts of Egypt. These monks lived in absolute isolation, sitting alone in silent stone cells for months at a time. But when you completely remove all external stimuli, the brain reacts in terrifying ways. The monks quickly began to suffer from a paralyzing condition they named the Noonday demon, or acedia. Ancient texts describe how this state makes the sun appear to stand completely still, dragging a monk into profound listlessness and a desperate desire to escape his room. Because religious communities believed the mind should always be full of devotion, This empty apathy was legally classified as a literal sin, the sin of sloth. For centuries, allowing yourself to feel bored meant you were actively opening your soul to demonic forces. Everything changed with the Industrial Revolution. When humanity was shoved into factories with rigid, repetitive schedules, time became mechanized. Emptiness was no longer seen as a sin, but as a problem that needed a commercial solution. Today, that solution is absolute. The attention economy has commodified every micro moment. If we wait in line for 30 seconds, the phone comes out. We think we are curing boredom, but behavioral psychology suggests we are doing the opposite. By constantly feeding our brains instant, low-effort dopamine, we have drastically lowered our tolerance for silence. Our ancestors built civilization, art and music not because they had superior brains, but because they were brave enough to sit in the quiet and let their minds wander. The next time you reach for your phone to escape a dull moment, try putting the screen away. Sit with the silence. Because the cure for boredom isn't more distraction, it's learning how to look at the world without one.